Welcome to another episode of Good Energy Squad podcast. Today, I have an amazing guest. She is full of love, light, and just radiant aura. And I want you all to meet the fabulous, the one and only Kai. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my love.
Well, I have been in the world of Tantra for the past 2 years, and even longer before I knew what the word was, I was practicing coherence between the mind and the heart, and looking at definition of harmony altogether. So, what I'm doing now is really holding sessions with people that allow them to feel and express their emotions fully. And we're also like rewiring generational patterns, overcoming those patterns that we didn't quite ask for in a direct sense.
Wow.
um, yeah. So just calling back power as well so that they can live an authentic life of joy and their true vision, not just something that's happening to them, but being the creator.
Of their own life, which is the
Yeah.
main thing that I think it's awareness, like you said, coherence. What a great word you use right there. I think that the people that know you, they obviously have experienced you. It's an experience to be around your presence and my energy, and everybody that is a healer. You can't really say anything about us until you feel us, right?
Mhm.
What do people tell you if somebody that doesn't know you and they want to meet you, they're interested in something, they have that spark, like, I know I'm meant to do more? Would you say that what you do, Kai? And also tell us, are you from here? Did you grow up?
Yeah. Phoenix City.
Okay,
Phoenix City in Columbus area.
so you've been in this area. Isn't that, I mean, you grew up here, and by the way, Kai, she's very young, but she's very, very mature for her age. How old are you, Kai?
I'm 23.
See, she's a Cancer baby like me. We're Cancer sisters, and we're full of love and emotion. That's for sure. We're I'm very, very sexual, but that's just me. Everybody knows this in the podcast. Is tantric sexual? That's a question.
Yeah, well, if you were to look up what Tantra is, there's a big what is it? There's big talk around it being just sexual. Like, oh, Tantra is just a way to have sex all the time and justify it. Or, there's people have these judgments about it very easily because it is a deep practice and there is a lot of knowledge. So, getting into the deeper parts of it takes more work and takes more presence, which people don't usually have. So they just look it up and they're like, oh, sex, and they walk away from it. And then that's what they say
Not
next
me.
time.
I'll be like, sign me up. Yeah, I'm a
Yes.
sex addict here. No, I am very open. Obviously, I'm a woman, but Latinas, we love to experiment a lot with our sexuality. So we're very open and sexual compared to other people here from the South. That's why I ask if you grew up here, because I can't imagine, when did you have what we know now, this awakening, the spiritual awakening, that you know what, I'm meant for more. I have this extra sense because it happened, I am sure.
Oh, yeah. I was probably 18, about to be 19, and I was going through a huge tower moment. Everything was coming to an end. My relationship with, like, a 4-year relationship with my first boyfriend at the time was ending. I had quit a job. I was homeless for a little bit, and, well, that happened twice. There was so much in that time period that was just like, wake the fuck up. And I did. And but the main breakthrough was with some psychedelics, honestly. Like, I had did some psychedelics, went out with the full moon, but it was a lunar eclipse. I went out at 4 a.m. and just meditated with this energy, and after that I was like, I know what I need to do. Like, I completely broke my
Yeah.
ego down that night. And after that, it was just study, 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 educate yourself, make the choices that will bring you to a more valuable life. So
So
now I'm here.
interesting that you were saying that you got broken into pieces. Kind of what has to happen. Like you got to lose yourself completely, lose everything on your treaty. Which, for those that are not aware, episode 4 is about awakening, and you realize is that we're taking space because we've been broken, we are rebuilding, and now we're growing, and we're not slowing down, and that darkness has to happen in order for the light. This is the whole reason how good energy started. Without darkness, there's no light, right? It has to be light. But you saw it. You had that out of body experience where you're like, I know what I have to do.
Yeah. It was I was completely I don't know. I was just completely broken open. There wasn't another pathway to take. There was no staying the same. There was no looking back. There was only moving forward in a way that, okay, so you can move forward where things are just happening to you and you don't know really what's going on, or you can become aware, you can become educated, and you can actually put a hand in and not just have to let the world do whatever it's going to do, because what I was growing up with and all the people that I was around, if I were to have just stayed limp, not stayed asleep, stayed in the same cycles, they would have been the ones taking me where I was going, which was pain, which was trauma, because that's just what the environment was. So I had to wake up and step out of that.
Wow. So do we think, I think, as I see it, majority of the people are just letting life take them away. Like take the river, and you're very out there with the nature and connected with earth. If we don't take control of our thoughts, our actions, and the way that we think, the river will take us in the wrong direction. And the metaphor where I'm trying to go. It feels like you're in the rapids, but you're supposed to go with the flow as you create your own path. I feel like life takes you, okay,
Mhm.
well, let's screw me over. Now I'm used to it. Don't you get used to that pain too? You kind of get content with like, this is my life. I guess I should be homeless. I should be shitty. I deserve this. It's all a matter of worth.
Yeah, and that's what the body believes too. Like that's the trauma stored inside that says that feels familiar with the message that has been created in their environment. Through their experiences. So it's like, yes, this is where I'm meant to be. I deserve to whatever it is. Your beliefs cause where you're at and how you feel. So if you're feeling a certain type of way, it's because there's a belief behind it, whether it was given to you by someone else or if it was created through the other toxic beliefs that were already there. It is the belief behind the experience.
So everything, and I've had obviously studied this with neuroscience, everything that you see in your reality right now, it's created through your mind and past beliefs, because that's what manifests on your current reality. Whatever you believe or think of yourself and your situation, you're going to obviously attract it more. And this is why we exist, so we can get you out of that same loop, right? And we get out of the loop where you said the word generational trauma,
Yeah.
removing all those fears, which is also part of tantric healer. That's why I want people to understand. Kai's not only teaching you to become feminine, which is why I literally reach out to her, because I for so long became hustler or independent, IND. We have all these songs of I got it. And it's okay to be a boss babe, but it's not okay to lose your feminine energy, because we are main magnets. We were magnetic. God made us for Adam. Like Adam came out of us. We forget that we are goddesses. We're not God. And I think people get confused with that. We have the same creating power. He made us as he. But what do you think is the main thing women need to know when it comes to being feminine and sexy and just soft?
Mm, deep breaths. slowing down and giving the opportunity for a sensation to be felt. Because as we're buzzing and we're moving and the mind is looking at everything else but the own sexiness that we hold, we're numb. We can't feel that beauty. We can't feel our truth, which our emotions are a compass that guide us in the right direction. And so if we're not tuned into that intuition, if we're not tuned into our feelings, our sensations, we're just completely, living for something else, you know?
What moves us if we don't move ourselves? What do you think is the power of the force that tries to create our reality when it overpowers? I'm still trying to figure it out. Is it distractions?
So could you say that question one more time?
What do you think takes over us when we lose ourselves? Because we have to come back to ourselves. You did it to me that time and Flower Park. By the way, I have had a session with Kai. Very powerful. I was, in your life, you're busy. You get caught up on this on the 3D in a way that it gets a little bit out of control. So you brought me back to,
Mm-hmm.
what was it? Was it the mind and the heart needed to be grounded?
Yep, the womb, the heart, and the mind.
Okay.
So the womb space, and everybody has a womb space, even if you're a man. We have that sacral chakra. So these are our intuitive points, our feminine points. And so when we lose ourselves, and what I'm thinking of when that happens is we're not truly losing ourselves, we're losing the control and the mind that does its best to overtake ourselves. And so really what comes out is the unconscious, what we don't know that we don't know. So we don't really know how to claim it exactly because we're not giving it all the attention that, the mind gives to something that we identify with. But that unconscious comes through, and that is our truth. Whether it be you lose yourself in anger, or you lose yourself in sadness, or you lose yourself in pleasure and bliss, like that is truth coming through and being felt. And you can't do that through the mind, which
Interesting.
the mind does the identifying part, the ego part.
You were doing a dance on your story, and I will put all your information so they follow you on Instagram. And I know ways to contact her and hire her. She does do sessions. She can come to you, or right now you're doing virtual, in person.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a specific space, but you can do outdoors. You can go to people's houses if you want to feel Kai and have one of her healing sessions that I 10 recommend. um, you were posting about releasing those. A couple of emotions were listed on your story. I
Yeah.
wanted to learn how to dance fear because sometimes I limit myself, and I don't know. That's just a terrible growing up. I got 40 years on you, so it's like 30 of those is unworthiness, shitty situations that, of course, I've been letting go. I have to revisit. I have to detach. That's not me. It's so hard to
Mm-hmm.
make that space to really evolve and become the highest version of yourself. And mostly for my generation, because we grew up with either you work hard or you're nothing, and that's just the truth. And that's, you and I know, the more you relax, the more you receive. So
Yeah.
why am I busting my ass? Like, that is not it, people. We want you, we're doing you a favor with having this type of information out there so you can relax, take a step back, right? And come back to home. And home is you, right? All you need is your mind, your heart, and your intuition.
Right. And sometimes these sessions are not very relaxing because what we're busy moving in these certain ways from the beliefs behind it, of course, but It's really these charged, stuck emotions in the nervous system that are being constantly fed by the negative beliefs that we may or may not know about that need to be rewired, redirected, transformed, transmuted. So the way that I do that is through breath, sound, and movement. So when I'm doing dance, and what is sex too? It's breath, it's sound, it's movement. So that's also a really great way to heal is through sex. But so you'll see me doing dances on my stories. You'll see me doing some, movements like this. In my classes, I get everybody to hum together. I'm constantly humming. If you're around me, I'm not dissociating. If I see that I'm dissociating, I ground myself back down with humming. But it really gets this it gives this emotion a way to be felt, be heard, be seen. So when you dance, or if you're in a session with me and we do express and release tools, there's not a specific anything. There's no expectation. It's just allow it to come through, give it a voice, give it life. And so that you can consciously see it and then consider yourself moving forward. Because if you don't do that, and this emotion is just in the body, it's going to demand to be seen in unconscious ways. You're going to blow the fuck up on someone you love. You're going to destroy a relationship. You're going to hurt yourself or someone else, maybe through anger, or, like the body's
Burn,
going to be seen in some
burn,
way.
burnout, right? Is that like the burnout that I was about to have? She put me to sleep, by the way. There was no dancing or sexual. I was hoping the little sexual activities, but no, it was, she literally just knocked me out. She's like, this bitch needs to go to sleep. We're gonna put this bitch to sleep. She's got too much on her head. Let's knock her out. What is it that you put the the
The
power
tarot pendant. Yeah, I have it right here
no matter
actually.
what you use on your session, so they know what I'm talking.
So
Wow,
this is one thing. Whoa, you see my camera's doing like a weird thing.
it's the angels.
Magical. Yeah, so this is a Terra activity pendant, and it is charged with 2,000 or 20,000. I gotta remember. I think it's actually 20,000 negative electrons. So it holds Mother Earth's pure energy in it. So
Love it.
anytime I take a nap, I'm taking a nap with it right here on my forehead.
Wow.
Yep. Helps us to absorb nutrients, helps our cells remember their harmony, our body remembers its natural state.
Right. I was definitely knocked out and grounded and put on the floor because I was going like a million times an hour, and my brain needed to chill. And now I have a couple of crystals I wanted to show you. And I did get that white one too that you had. And I charged my other crystals. What is it called? That you had it with you too in a stick that charges all your crystals.
Selenite.
I said cyanide. Remember, I kept saying she put cyanide on me, just trying to kill me off. You can't
Uh-oh.
get it. It was funny because I don't know any of that, but obviously they exist for a reason. If there's one thing that people will get out of your sessions, I think it'll be just getting to me that I experienced a mini session with you. It'll be just refocusing on what matters, and it's always been the message in GS as well. It's going back home, which is pull back inward. And I feel that if it wasn't for people like you, maybe other practices like yoga, Reiki, we have Miss Allison, life coaching, and just meditation, which is great. She's amazing to put you to meditate. We lose ourselves in this, like you said, unconsciousness will be the perfect answer of what I was saying. What takes over us? What is this need of not being centered? Because at the end of the day, all that matters is for us to be present, correct? And to in this moment.
Right. Right now is the truth. The mind is a time traveler. If you're thinking about the past or you're worrying about the future, there's not enough truth to it, because if you're living in the past, if you're always in your mind, you're only projecting past experiences and past beliefs into this present moment and into the future. So the truth is right now. The truth is what you feel. The truth is what you can touch, taste, smell, hear, see, sense. It is the body. Tantra is embodiment
of the present, because we're
Mm-hmm.
so worried about the future too. Is like, and that is the ego. And I want you to describe in your own words ego. I had to have ego death. You had to have ego death. That has to happen to all of us. But also there's a little bit of good on, you have to keep a little bit of ego just so you know where you don't want to be. You don't want to go
Mm-hmm.
back to. How do you use ego now in your awakening days, in your new self?
Well, to me, ego is separation. Ego is separation. And I guess the way that I would use it now, like I actually haven't dug into this myself, so this will be something fun to explore. But I think it helps a lot in keeping out harm. Because when we say protect yourself, I protect myself. I'm not saying I'm protecting myself specifically from something, because that comes from kind of a fear-based mentality. I'm saying I am protecting myself in my harmony. I am protecting myself in my pleasure. And so I guess I don't really look at it as ego. I look at it as feelings.
Mhm.
Because if in the past, I had lots of fear, any of my emotions that, I had that I would shame or that were shame to me in the past, like disgust or discomfort, wanting to place a boundary wasn't really respected. Now where I'm at, where I've gained more consciousness of my feelings of disgust, of jealousy, of anger, of whatever comes up without shame, they actually work for me in a way that protects my life, that protects my boundary. If something's disgusting, I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting that, okay, you don't like this. You don't have to be around this. It's not for you. And I can move on into a place that feels beautiful and healthy, you know?
So back
Mm.
to choosing yourself. So you're using that little bit. If you do have any in ego, it will be just to protect yourself. That's what I do like about ego a little bit. It's just, this is not for me. And I'm not going to please anybody else, because the point is, when you take care of you and you stay whole and present, everything around you should match you, right? You're a mirror. We're a reflection of each other. And you said it when we met. I manifested you, and I'm glad you're in this life. And then she comes out and pulls this paper that she wrote on my birthday 3 years ago. How
Yeah.
that's not freaking crazy. Now I want you all can call us crazy and all you want, and woo woo and the lulu, but there is factual synchronicities that have happened to us, leading up to meeting each other, and just how the universe really connects you with the people for your highest good when you're vibrating in that frequency. You're only going to attract what you are. So why in the world would you feel cheaty? Will you feel less? Will you have fear, which you were talking about, disgust? All of the feelings that you're having is what you're attracting more of it. Am I right?
Well, the main thing is acceptance and a note is and non-judgment. So acceptance and at a very minimum neutral witnessing. So right now I can't move from anything that I am unless I look at it and unless I embrace it. So if there's something in me that I feel is something that I want to change, I don't go into it with that whatsoever. I go into it as if I'm speaking to a kid, like, hey, what's going on? What are you feeling? I'll start to do my breath sound and movement, and maybe I'll cry, maybe I'll be angry, and I'll like I'll express that. And then my mind sees it. It's like, okay, I see you. It's fair that you feel this way. Like, one thing I love to say is anybody that has lived the life you've lived, anybody that has went through the things that you've went through, the exact things that you've went through would be exactly how you are right now. So giving that complete acceptance to myself and being like, what do you need? What do you desire? And my heart will speak, well, you've been working too much. Like, I'm turning into this masculine, angry, aggressive person around the house. What I need is to relax more by the river in the next couple days. And so I allow my heart to say that. And then my mind will speak back and be like, okay, I still have some things to do, so I can't drop life and drop my responsibilities to go be a fairy by the water, but I will make sure that I prioritize your sense of safety and your relaxation, because I can't do this without you, and you matter.
So you find balance. That's the word we're looking for. You will find a balance to do both, and I think that's where we get lost in transition. We don't do things that are good for ourselves, but we're trying to continue a destructive pattern through life in order to keep the wheels going. And sometimes it's okay to do a hard stop or seek help or have a guy to tell you, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm stuck. I'm in this loop of toxic relationship, toxic work, and nothing makes me happy. Money is not making me happy. I get that all the time, obviously, with my life coach client. Then what is it? Let's explore. We have the money, we have the health, we have everything in the 3D, but we're still empty. And that comes
Mhm.
back to really, really, really finding that acceptance, the true love, and what we want for ourselves. It as a whole, yeah, of course, everybody will feel happy and healthy with $1 million in their account. But what you do with it and how ready you are to accept it is different, right?
Mhm.
Your worth and your value does not come from material things. And I've
Right.
been preaching this to everybody because I'm telling you, it's just your aura. You have to work when you're a spiritual being. You can tell immediately this person is not good for me. Yes or no?
I I don't I stay very open.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I've endured quite a lot and I've practiced the art of, you know, being with myself through very traumatic things and reliving very traumatic things so that I can,
Heal.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I come into contact with people, I don't have, there's no type of thought process. It is just presence in my body and paying attention to how I feel without trying to recognize a pattern in them that might be harmful to my life. Like, it'll come up, but really it's just the feeling. Like, how do I feel about
The
this?
intuition is what I was trying to people
Yeah.
to get tapped in. We kind of we shut that down, and that's why a session with you or Laura, any attunement, any chakra alignment will put you back in the listen to me when I tell you make this choice is not good for you. It's our bodies physically getting sick around situations that
Mm-hmm.
something I'm using myself as an example because even Kelly asked me, and hi Kelly, we're talking about you. She's like, the mother in me is like, sorry for your finger, but the other, the spiritual me wants to know what it means that you got bit on that left. Because everything has a meaning. What is this? Everything is a lesson for us. Why is my body physically trying to tell me that do I need
Mm-hmm.
to slow down? Is this like sit your ass down? Let's go back. Let's focus on what matters. There's more to life and purpose. What do you believe you're here for? That's my question to you. It can be just to get married, have kids, and build a white picket fence. Or is that your American dream?
Look at my cat.
Oh Lord, there's your child. Cats are super spiritual, y'all. By the way, they're spirit guides.
Mhm. Yeah, she's
What do you
very.
think you're here on Earth for, Kai?
I am here to be my most authentic self as as truly and as expressively as I'd like to, and allow other people to see that so that they can do the same. That's what I'm here for. I think that's what, in a sense, everybody is here for. I think the way that I'm going to really spread that message is, through lots of adventure, lots of travel, lots of connection, through technology and in real life, because travel, of course, but getting my message to the people that need it. And I am most certain that there are lots and lots of people waiting for our message. So having fun, connecting, and sharing our truth.
Correct. And you said it, being yourself is key. That's the whole GS motto. I feel like people think they need to change who they are. No, they just need to reconnect with source.
Hmm.
And that's like literally the main key in our events. And the sneak peek, heads up, we are having one in October the 5th. Kai will be there. She's definitely, we're getting all of the details ready. She's incredible. She's going to guide a meditation for the collective. We just decided that she's amazing. And just to get back to tap in, if you tell us a little bit about your rituals that you do, that would be amazing. What do you recommend for someone that is listening and is just starting and they want to experiment, wholeness, or
Okay.
what would be a good, what do you do? I know you journal like me when we wake up. We have that in common.
Yeah.
What other tip would you give our collective?
Um, Something that's really important is having some type of groundedness into your body every day. So I would say first thing when you wake up, make it a daily practice of you taking deep breaths and just intentionally looking inwards. Just by paying attention to the breath, I suppose. Like that's the very basic way of getting into the present moment. But as you begin to at least do that much, just take deep breaths into the body. Set a timer 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long. Start with that deep breath and then move from there throughout your day. I mean, that's very basic beginner. As you start to do that for a while, then you'll move into, you're way easier to get grounded. You don't have to wait 5 minutes. You can take just 3 deep breaths and you're like locked in and focused in this present moment. Then you can do your yoga, your meditation, your journaling,
Journaling,
your
gratitude.
um pranayama, like more intentional breath work. I like to connect with higher spirits, so I like to speak to my angels. I love to speak to my ancestors. I like to set intentions for myself, affirmations, very helpful. I say those every day into my tea. There's probably some days that go by. I'm not like super strict, but I want to. So most of the time I'm showing up to say these affirmations.
First thing in the morning is key. And as a science here, if you're subconscious, you can only grab it the first 5 minutes you get up and the last 5 minutes of your night before you go to sleep. That's it. So, like she said, that breathing as soon as you wake up before you grab your cell phone are top tier advanced. You think that's the basic? That is the only thing you should be doing when you wake up. And she taught me how to breathe to my stomach. So I was doing my breaths incorrect. Can you teach us how to breathe in this podcast? I think it'll be magic.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna back up a bit. I'm
Yes,
in this beautiful pink rolly chair.
I love your whole setup.
Can you see my belly?
Yes, we can. What belly? Your perfect abdomen, the 23-year old.
All right.
Perfect.
So most people are breathing through their chest. And this
Mm,
is shallow chest breathing.
don't do that.
Yeah, it's an unconscious way of breathing. It triggers the stress response in the body. It triggers cortisol to be released. It's very tense. It makes everything very tense and tight. There's not a lot of life coming in. You can only relax as deeply as you breathe. So, uh, let's see. Let me see how to say it. A true nourishing breath that will bring life to your body, to your organs, to your blood, is one that happens deep in the belly. So I always say, breathe beneath the belly button. Send that breath all the way down. Breathing all the way in. And all the way out.
Do you guys see what she's doing? She's filling up her stomach. So it's so hard at the beginning when she died. You're supposed to inflate your stomach as you inhale, correct?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And a lot of people, because they're so, and when I started, oh my gosh, and there's times where I'm noticing I'm about to be burnt out and I can't breathe all the way into my stomach. Everything is so tense. Like, it is not the easiest when you first start, but it is more than worth it to stay with it. When I first started practicing, like truly, like I knew about belly breathing, but I wasn't actually consciously practicing it, so my body wasn't able to keep up with it.
it's hard.
Now,
I'm telling you right now. It's. I was telling my best friend the whole trip. We were in Europe, and I was like, "You gotta blow your stomach up." She's like, "Oh," I said, "Do it like I said. You're not breathing now. I'm never gonna relax like this." We were trying to do it every morning as soon as we wake up, and it's extremely hard. Uh, unless you really focus and ground yourself, like you said, to inflate your stomach and fill it up with air.
yeah. But now, because I've practiced, it's natural. So when I'm breathing naturally, it's a deeper, more nourishing, more in the more deeper in the diaphragm into the belly. That's how I'm breathing naturally because I've practiced. But I had to start practicing because I was hurting my ribs. Like, my ribs were getting really inflamed. My shoulders were getting really inflamed because I'm so tight and I'm like, I was breathing so hard in my chest that I was causing some type of inflammation in my body. And so I spoke with fitness coach, a health coach. His name is Ruben Parada, physical health guy. What is it? Physical freedom guy. Yeah, he's really cool. But he was saying, if you do your belly breathing, he gave me some practices. He was like, do this and see what happens, because you're going to allow your body to heal and not be, in that form of whatever's causing it inflammation. And I did that. I have not had rib problems or shoulder problems since. So it's been very helpful.
Well, I've been trying to practice as you taught me outside in Flat Rock Park. It was a good experience. I still have to send you that video, high quality, but it's interesting how the breathing. Because honestly, we breathe, we think we're gonna calm ourselves and go and get all the air in the world, and then we're literally, I can feel me even stressing more by taking that deep breath, and we think we're meditation is super hard for people like me. I mean, I'm not diagnosed, but I know I have some type of super thinking brain that is constantly going. So you're really not calming yourself. You're giving more oxygen to the brain to get even worse. So I'm even more altered, more psychopath because you're breathing wrong. Breathing is the key. And those 3 to 5 breaths in the morning. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm in enlightenment with my highest self. Let's take on the day. Changes the entire day. That is
Yeah.
the best tip in the morning.
And you can look on YouTube, look up breathwork. There's plenty of videos that will help you stay grounded as you are guided through breathwork. That's what's helped me over the years. It has been probably 4 years of me doing this now, of putting on a guided video that keeps me grounded. I don't have to try and remember things all myself, but I'm still doing that work. And yeah, so that's something that's very helpful. Find you a YouTube video so you don't have to do all the work. And it's, I mean, 5 minutes at the bare minimum, because most people aren't doing it at all. So 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes before you go to sleep. But if you want to see progress faster, you want to give more presence to it. I do at least 20 minutes. And there's days where I have to take an hour of just breathing.
Breathing. Wow.
Yeah.
I want to get there. I really lose. We really don't give ourselves time to breathe. And that's crazy that I sometimes have to take yoga to disconnect, because that is the one time that you get to disconnect completely, just to flow with your body and be present. And
Mhm.
even the instructor telling you, whatever you're thinking about, stop thinking about it and just be here in your mat. And I was like, okay, okay, yes, yes, no matter what I got to do later, let me get back. Let me get back. And the message I feel like of this podcast is, again, presence. If there's something that you can teach others, which is going to be your we're obviously putting the message of love and light. And I mean, it's not that I would like for people to see the healing powers of us in a way of light. How do we get it from the darkness that everybody sees?
Well, I want to say that darkness is power.
Hmm.
People are afraid of the dark because their mind isn't able to take control over it. I mean, if it does, it's usually taking control of it because of the beliefs that are behind it, which in the dark you get hurt. The dark is bad. The dark is the devil. Things of that sort.
Monsters in the closet, right?
Right, right. So but the darkness is not bad. If you can change your perspective on that, you'll actually release a lot of fear surrounding that and you'll be a more powerful being because most of your truth is in the dark right now. All the good parts that got repressed when you were a kid, you did something fabulous, somebody was jealous and they made you feel bad for it. Now that golden aspect of you that is so creative and so bright and so beautiful is in the dark. How are you going to get it if you're saying no to the dark? So you have to open up to that.
That's right. And if you're curious and want to learn more about yourself, but you're afraid, that's your reason to do it. Like, I was afraid to quit my job. I was afraid to continue the podcast by myself because I ended up just being me. And look at me now. I just took over it and I keep doing it. I just keep showing up for myself. I took that leap of faith by quitting my job because I cannot let strings or money stop me from my bigger purpose. There has to be whatever you're afraid of, do it. That is my goal. That is literally the message. If it's scary, it's and uncomfortable, that's a good, that's your go to.
Yeah. Just recognize if it's coming from the mind and be there with the feeling. If you can be there with it and say, and get your mind involved. If the mind is causing the fear, you want to recognize that. But if you're truly feeling afraid because it's just something new and it's uncomfortable and you don't have the confidence yet, getting your mind involved and being like, oh, I see you. Yep, this is scary. But you know what? We've done scary things. And what has happened? Such beautiful things. We see what's on the other side of this. We have a vision, a goal, and we're meant to do this. Like, we got this. You give the heart courage, and then the heart maybe turns that. It's like the mind is kind of turning that fear more towards excitement or at least courage in the minimum.
Well, fear and excitement is the same feeling, by the way.
Right. It's the same same
Same
vibration.
vibration. And at the end of the day, we're all energy. And once you realize that when you keep this vibration good, everything, you become a magnet for all the things that you are meant to have. So the minute you lose that vibration or let yourself like doubt and fear in a bad way, instead of seeing it, I'm excited for this, it's going to be good. We focus so much on the wrong and never on the what if it turns out, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if? There's always two coins, two sides to the coin. It's just
Yeah.
depends where you put your energy to. What are your um not short term goals, because we don't, if you can have something tomorrow or what you really would like to do it, besides the traveling, where does Kai see herself? What is your vision or your mission?
I see a world of pure love, beauty, and abundance.
And so it is.
I buy organic foods, clothes, self-care products with confidence. I am supporting people to live in their ease, joy, and power every day, including my loved ones. I am developing creative and inspiring content. I am giving very successful lectures, workshops, and events. I give extremely healing private and group Tantra sessions. There's a lot more. These are some of my
We're
affirmations.
limitless. We're
Yeah.
limitless. That's the beauty of it. That's what I wanted to see. I mean, we have that same vision. That's why we're connected, and we're going to continue putting the message out there because the vision and mission clearly is huge, right? It's not people don't understand. This is not like, oh, let me have a little session, or it's a ripple effect, right? We're trying to.
Yeah.
It's a humanity.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we ripple. Like, every person that I'll have a session with, every person we have sessions with, their change and their vibration and their authenticity will be seen by their coworkers, by their families, by their friends, and they'll be inspired. They'll notice the change, and whether or not they know it influences them, it does. Like, that light will spread no matter what.
That's right. Once they feel us, they can't unsee us. It's crazy. I had my accountant said that he's 72. He's like, just being around you, I feel like I'm 20 again. It's the energy, right? And you absorb it and it makes you powerful. And if you can empower someone to be themselves and believe in themselves and go back to them, go back home with that, it's just the most beautiful thing. You've seen it with your clients, and of course, I'm wishing all of the things. I'm not wishing. I know it is done. Everything that you desire, obviously, we manifested, and it's here. It's now. We're open and we're ready to receive. I would like for you to end this podcast with a prayer for the commute and for everybody that listens, and thank them obviously for being open for our gifts and our future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can do that.
Perfect.
In the name of harmony and truth, let those that align with us be defined in their own authentic vision as we rise as leaders and as artists, living embodied, living in pleasure and in joy and in happiness as we connect with one another. I give my thanks. I extend my gratitude to all those who show up with their presence to receive this message, who show up with presence for themselves to call in the life that they know they deserve. I'm asking the universe to consistently remind us all of our worth. Amen.
Amen. And so it is done. I want to thank you for joining us today in this space and being part of the good energy, huge part of the good energy and our good energy events. Come experience Kai on October the 5th. And you can also book with her through her bio, correct? They can DM you
Yep,
as well. And we'll
yep,
get her. She's available again for everybody. I know you guys are listening to me in Texas and other states. You can do a virtual session like I do. um, Fantastic.
yep,
Thank you again,
absolutely.
Sister of the Light, Cancer Sister. And if anybody, no one got to believe in you. We keep telling you this. You just got to believe in yourself, be yourself always.